Princess Clara stood at the top of the tallest tower of Valyria, her gaze fixed on the shadowy mountains that loomed in the distance. She'd been warned about them for as long as she could remember. Stories of dark magic and monstrous creatures haunted the minds of those who even whispered their name, the Cursed Mountains. But Clara couldn't afford to indulge in the fear they inspired. Not today. Her father, King Elias, had fallen gravely ill 2 days ago, struck by a mysterious curse that none of the kingdom's healers could undo. His skin had turned ashen, his once vibrant eyes now sunken and clouded. Panic gripped the castle, but Clara knew what she had to do. This curse, unlike any they had encountered, must have come from an ancient magic that only one person could wield. The Black Witch. She had to be the key to breaking it. As Clara stared into the distance, she felt a familiar knot of dread in her stomach. Those mountains had always represented something insurmountable, but this was different.
I can't lose him. Whatever it takes. I have to try.
She knew this journey wasn't about recklessness or some youthful thirst for adventure. It was about love, duty. She'd been afraid of so many things for so long, afraid of making the wrong decision, afraid of disappointing the kingdom, afraid of those mountains. But now, she realized, fear could be powerful only if you let it be. With her resolve strengthened, Clara gathered what she needed for the journey. She pulled on a sturdy cloak, packed food, water, and a small vial of healing herbs passed down through her family. Her father had always told her,
"Courage isn't the absence of fear, Clara. It's the strength to stand in spite of it."
Mounting her horse, Luna, Clara whispered a silent promise to herself as they rode through the kingdom's gates under the cover of night. The familiar forests and fields transformed into a wilderness Clara had only seen from afar. The once comforting sounds of rustling leaves and chirping birds faded, replaced by the eerie silence of the mountains. The path grew narrower, and the dark, jagged rocks jutted out like claws trying to tear at her resolve. Clara dismounted when they reached the mountain's base. It was too steep for Luna to continue. As she tied her horse to a tree, the wind howled through the trees, carrying whispers that seemed to come from the shadows themselves. Every rustle made her heart skip, but each time she felt the fear tighten its grip, she steeled herself. Still, as the fog thickened and the eerie sounds grew louder, Clara couldn't deny the lump in her throat. But even so, she pressed on. What choice did she have?
Fear won't stop me,
she reminded herself, her boots crunching against the rocky terrain. Hours passed in silence, the fog now so thick she could barely see her hand in front of her face. Then, without warning, a figure appeared, materializing from the mist as if summoned by Clara's very thoughts. The woman was cloaked in black and golden, her face pale but ageless, with eyes as red as blood.
"Who dares enter my domain?"
The woman asked, her voice cold and sharp as the mountain wind. Clara instinctively straightened, standing as tall as she could manage.
I am Princess Clara of Valyria. My father, the king, has been cursed. I've come to ask for your help.
The Black Witch tilted her head slightly, her lips curving into a small smile, though it held no warmth.
"The curse upon your father is powerful. No ordinary magic can undo it."
Clara clenched her fists, keeping her voice calm but determined.
Then tell me what can.
"You are brave, but bravery alone is not enough. There is always a price for breaking such a curse."
Clara felt her stomach twist at the word price, but she didn't waver.
Whatever it is, I'll pay it.
Though a part of her wondered how far she was willing to go. Her father had always taught her to think through her actions carefully, and she couldn't afford to be reckless now. The Black Witch circled her slowly, her gaze sharp and assessing.
"There is a way. I can give you a potion that will lift the curse, but the cost is not what you may think.
What's the cost?
No sacrifice of your heart or your memories, but a promise. You must promise to return here, to this very spot, after the curse is lifted. And when you do, you must bring me something of value, something you've found or learned from this journey."
That's all. No pieces of my soul or years stolen from my life? I don't understand. What do you really want from me?
That's for you to discover. You may think you're running towards your fear to save your father, but perhaps it is something else you'll find along the way. Only then will you truly know what I want.
Clara hesitated, weighing the decision in her mind. It wasn't the kind of harsh trade she had feared. It almost seemed reasonable. But still, the witch's cryptic words made her uneasy. What would she have to give up when this was all over? But the thought of her father lying helpless in his bed spurred her on. Whatever she had to find, whatever lesson or truth awaited her, she'd face it when the time came. For now, she had no choice but to accept.
I'll do it. I'll return with something of value.
The Black Witch nodded, satisfied, and with a flick.
Then take this, Princess Clara, and go save your father. But remember, fear is a guide as much as it is a barrier. Run towards it, and you may just find what you're truly seeking.
Clara took the vial, her mind swirling with the witch's cryptic words. As she made her way back down the mountain, she couldn't help but wonder what she would find on her return journey. But for now, she knew one thing: she had faced her fear, and it hadn't consumed her. Instead, it had given her the strength to move forward.